first place is to start, not to start negatively. The false start, illegal formation, holding, offsides, holding, false start, PI, hold. And then we had a very selfish play out of a freshman out there on a wide receiver. So those are huge negatives to me. We talked about this penalty scenario, the issues that we have with the penalties. So all is not okay, and it's not okay to have 10 penalties in the scrimmage. It's not okay to practice like that. So we got guys that practice like that. They can go find another school to play at. So we got a lot to learn. On the flip side of that, I thought I was impressed with. Again, the offense has definitely taken big-time strides in the last week. Our ability to make some big-time plays and show up. A couple times we dug ourselves a hole and we were able to get out of it on the offensive side. The ball security, for the most part, what I would say was okay. It was on the ground 2 times, once in the end zone, 1 out of bounds, where we'd already scored a touchdown and it flopped out there on the sideline 1 time, so that's too much. The quarterbacks were productive. Both guys did some good things. Jordan was able to make some big plays, and so it was. I thought the offensive lines and the running backs, especially Chris Brown, really picked up the blitzes extremely well. There wasn't a whole bunch of free hitters, a lot of defense coming at those kids. Defensively, I thought they ran the ball well, tackled pretty well. There wasn't a whole bunch of missed tackles. We're still letting some balls over our heads. That's been a concern for the last 4 or 5 days. Continues to be a concern. You get balls over your head in this league and you lose by a lot, just not by a little bit, or you'll never win. So those are situations that we're in. But those first couple things I addressed are important. The penalties, they have to go away, and there's still too many of those that are administrative penalties. I never want to be a team that say, hey, we're going to lead the league in penalties, in the least amount of penalties. It's not our goal. Our goal is to play aggressive physical football, man coverage, do some different things. We'll have some penalties, but administrative penalties is at this point really not acceptable. So we got to continue to clean that up. I'm proud of the way the kids competed. It looks like we stayed healthy for the most part. A couple dings and bruises and bumps, but appears like we're in a good spot. So excited to get going, and we'll get back in here tomorrow and keep moving.
Isaac got some time in there today. You seem comfortable?
Yeah, Isaac looked great. He's looked great every time he walks in there. So he is he's the best of the best as far as I'm concerned. When that kid is in there, I've never really seen an offensive lineman have the ability to change an offense as dramatically as he does when he is in the game. At least that's what he appears in practice. It just seems to tick at a different level, especially in the run game.
Coach, not really football related per se about the scrimmage, but the fight song at the end, that's something new. Could you just talk a little bit about what went into that?
Well, I think it's important to our kids need to learn the fight song, and we wanted to sing it. We just didn't want to clap it and then sing at the very end of it, and that's just a tradition we want to start. And I think everybody I've talked to, I was a little sensitive because I don't want to step on people's toes on a school song, but I didn't quite understand why we don't sing the words, and nobody could really tell me. So we brought in the band director, and he taught us the words in a team meeting, and we break every team meeting and start every team meeting now with singing it. So hopefully by the first game we'll be good at that also. So I hope it becomes contagious. We'll sing it on the road. We'll sing it at home. We'll sing it if the band's with us. We'll sing it if the band's not with us. We'll sing it if we win. We'll sing it if we lose. So I think the kids love it. It's an important part of it, and it's just a way for us to really, truly say thank you for the people that came to the game, whether it's at home or on the road.
Talk about the special teams and kickers. There's quite a few kickers out there. Have you made a decision on that yet?
I should have brought that up at the beginning as a huge positive, in my opinion, in this scrimmage, and thank you for bringing that up. I thought that Nick punted the ball very, very well. We're doing a good job. Garrett kicked the ball very well. Those two are clearly the starting punter and the starting place kicker. The kickoff situation, if we kicked off today, would be Garrett, without question. The holder is Nick, and the backup holder is Garrett. So, and I would say after today, with what we did in the live action that we saw out there, I would say that Ryan has solidified himself the starter on both short and long after today. That's been a competition throughout camp, and it will remain to be. But if we were going to play tomorrow, that's how it would line up. But I'm pleased with those kids, the way they've competed. The hardest thing for those guys is to not out-kick themselves, right? They want to kick every day right now, and give them some time off is important. Anything else?
Coach Baldwin mentioned that big announcement was that both Seth and Marcus were going to play in the first game and likely beyond that. Is that just you want to see those young guys in a game-type situation?
Yeah, I think if you looked at our quarterbacks today, and anybody that was watching this that has any type of an eye for football, you could see that they're both getting better. without question, and they're growing into the position. They bring a little bit different style, but yet they can still run the offense, which I was hopeful for if we didn't get major separation between 1 and 2. And the other reason for that, I think, we're playing both of those kids for however long it takes. Maybe it's the whole season. If it is, then so be it. Whatever's best for our offense is what we're going to go with. But the key is they have not been in a game, and they're freshmen, and we want to give them an opportunity to be able to compete. So we'll go into it preparing them both. We can easily prepare them both. The way we practice and how fast we practice, that will not be an issue to get the kids enough reps. And I think our team is comfortable right now. Most comfortable, I truly believe this. This football team is most comfortable with the ability for both of those quarterbacks to be able to play right now. And there's no lobbying going on for I'm going to be the guy, or locker room lawyers building the case for one side or the other. So it's a good situation to be in. And bottom line, it's the best spot for us to be in right now is to get them both prepared.
So it doesn't really matter who starts, and they'll play determined by how well they play during the game.
Well, I don't even know yet. There's a certain, I go back to that, and I mentioned this at the beginning of camp, and if we were ever going to go across these waters here of saying playing both quarterbacks, that's why I went back and spent the time that I spent with Northwestern and studying how they did it and when they did it and why they did it, and there was no rhyme or reason. It was just simply one game, one kid would get more reps, the other kid. It's not because he threw an interception, it's not because he threw an incomplete pass. The last thing you want to do if you have two quarterbacks playing is if the kid makes a mistake, yank him every time he makes a mistake. That is just no way to operate. That's impossible. So we'll continue to go through it with the kids, and we'll see. Maybe in the next week it'll become even clearer on who should take more snaps. But right now, again, I say it, if you watch them today with the 1s and the 2s out there, they both functioned and did some very, very good things, and you didn't see the offense just fall apart for one reason or another when either Seth was in there or when Nick was in there, or Marcus was in there or Nick was in there. Nick came in and did some good things with the third group too. So it was good to see all three of them compete. But right now, those two will be in the mix.
One more. You had the chance to have a couple of beeper greats, and Steven Jackson and Ken Simonton here the past couple days. What did they bring to the team, and how did that get set up?
Well, from Ken, a lot of energy and a lot of. Ken was able to talk to the team, I guess it was 2 days ago now, and in a team setting, and it was fantastic. Steven was able to meet with them today out there on the field, and their messages are very clean and crisp and precise. Their belief, what they went through here at the university, what this university gave for them, what they've done since then, what their expectation, quite frankly, their expectation levels of the kids that are sitting in front of them now. They want to be part of great teams. Ken shared great stories of the Fiesta Bowl team, and when he came here, what the tradition was and how down it was. And Steven was able to share a situation with us where he hasn't been on very many winning teams, but it hasn't stopped him from fighting and battling, and that goes through college, it goes through his professional career also, and just to get him back here and be around our kids. I asked him to come back. I'm grateful they came back and took the time, and it's a big deal for us.